Hi, I'm Zachary Farnell. Thank you for joining me for another edition of your Timberland Weather Update. Behind me right now, you're seeing footage of the middle school Rocket Club. Bit of a chilly day today as they are launching off the rockets that they've been working on for a little bit now. But overall, a pretty nice day, relatively clear. It's only going to get nicer as we go through the day today, especially in towards tomorrow, before sadly we look towards a bit of a rainy and messy weekend ahead. I mentioned it being a little bit chilly today. You're seeing the daytime highs yesterday reflecting a lot of the same thing. For our area, certainly sticking below 50 in most areas, in those mid to low 40s. Across much of the central and western part of the U.S. though, the heating got cranking through here, and the heat really spilled pretty far north. We've seen sort of an east-west back and forth throughout much of the springtime so far. If it's warm in the east, it's typically cool out west, and the opposite is true right now. That's been happening for the last several days. Overnight, it only got colder. Freezing temperatures for sure across our area, most of New England and the Northeast, well below freezing tonight. And again, across that central U.S., a whole lot warmer. The good news, some of that warmth is beginning to spread its way across the East Coast, still for us in towards those mid-40s, maybe some low 40s across the area today, but mostly mid-40s, especially where we are near the coast, and generally some warmer weather is beginning to creep up into some parts of the East Coast, not quite into our neck of the woods yet, but it'll get there by the time we reach tomorrow. A lot of what's associated with some of this heating has been a pretty big clear area across the central part of the U.S. You're looking right where the heating was across parts of the plains. Very, very few clouds, and that's going to begin to change as we get towards tomorrow on our fronts map. We were seeing a bit of a high pressure system kind of sticking across much of the Great Plains over the last couple of days that allowed some of that warm air to move up. That is going to shift tomorrow. The high pressure system kind of dissolves, and we see in its place a bit of a low pressure system taking hold. This is going to hold firm across parts of the plains, but kind of weaken and generally steer the weather pattern as we look towards the next couple of days. So focus on this system for what exactly may be happening. Some scattered thunderstorms, maybe a couple thunder showers in towards the Great Plains areas, excuse me, not the Great Plains, the Great Lakes areas. North of that, a mix of rain and snow. For us, we see it certainly warm up before you see that cold front move into the area overnight as we get from Friday into Saturday, which we'll look at now. Saturday, you see that cold front is moved through. Kind of a place with this stationary front. It will definitely be chillier on Saturday as we look for that cold front to move through and generally hold just south of us. Again, you're still seeing this low pressure system bringing a whole lot of rain and general messy conditions across much of the central U.S. For now, we're not expecting any severe thunderstorms on Saturday, mainly just rain across this area. As we look towards Sunday, though, you see it break down and weaken even further, but still, we are likely going to see another severe weather outbreak across the Ohio River into the Mississippi River valleys, and just the whole East Coast gets drenched. At least some showers all the way down from Florida up into our area. For us, Sunday, we are expecting that kind of light rain that we're expecting to begin Saturday, really turn over to some pretty significant rain on Sunday, but we will see some fluctuation in temperatures, especially as we get towards Monday, right after this system moves through and you see that stationary front finally push north of us once again. So let's kind of break down what we can look at exactly over the next several days on our 5-day forecast. Tomorrow, I mentioned the warmer temperatures, the generally clear skies. That's exactly what we're looking for. Highs pushing near 60 with those partly cloudy skies. But again, Saturday, we see it cool down a lot as we get stuck with that stationary front and that system moving in general. The rain and the cooler temperatures persist into Sunday, although Saturday's more of a shower threat. Sunday, much more that actual rain threat with the temperatures in the low 40s. Then on Monday, it'll probably be raining in the morning, turning over to showers and generally clearing up a little bit as the day goes on. But most significantly, it'll be pushing near the mid to upper 60s as that system moves through and gives us a brief shot of warmth before we see on Tuesday we dip back below 50 again. Then, looking after the 5-day forecast, you see next Wednesday, a pretty chilly day in towards those low 40s, maybe some mid 40s, but Thursday, rain showers move through. However, with those rain showers, we are expecting a pretty big warm up next Friday, where 60 to 70 degree weather will be moving in before it cuts itself right back off again next Saturday and Sunday. tumbling back into those 50s and 40s overall. Well, I'm Zachary Farnell. Thank you for joining me for another edition of your Timberland weather update. I hope you enjoyed this edition. I hope you enjoy every edition, and I hope you join us for next week as we break down whatever may be coming our way. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm Zachary Farnell, signing off.